The Deputy Speaker's budget increased from 2.768 billion in financial year 2020-2021 to 14.486 billion in financial year 2024-2025. Imagine, that's an increase over 423.338% increase. Who does that? Folks who were awarded 500 million shillings, I think in Puga received 500 million shillings, and the rest got, I think, was it around 400 million shillings as parliamentary commissioners? You can go after this. But what is 500 million shillings to 3.8 billion? What is it? It's nothing.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
And yes, indeed, broadcasting to you from these United States of the Americas. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me, and at whatever time you might enjoy this conversation. I am the aforementioned Mordecai Murisa, and you're welcome to Mordecai Murisa once again. Oh yes, indeed. Let's do this one more time, no? You guys know how I appreciate music? Oh boy. If you've been here for a while, you know how I appreciate music. So that's why every time it plays, I'm like, okay, let's do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to be looking at a very interesting reporting from New Vision. It says 30 members of parliament on police radar. What? Among 30 members of parliament are on police radar. Now, these are thought to be Anita Among's accomplices, enablers, associates, name it. They are on police or security apparatus' radar. Now, I want to make something very clear here. Everything you see being done to Anita Among has nothing to do with corruption. Museveni has never had an issue with corruption. But they're using Anita Among to send a signal to those who question the authority of Museveni and to those who have ambitions of challenging Museveni in the future. Failure to have somebody who can convince Ugandans, persuade them, sell their political ideologies to them. They want to bring Muhoozi Kainerugaba. So they're trying to send a signal to anyone who might be interested in challenging Muhoozi Kainerugaba. See, this is what we can do to you. Anita Among's corruption, everything you see, the amount of wealth she's amassed, the money she has, everything, all those vehicles, she's been able to do that in a space of 6 years. You want to convince me that that she's the only one who has done this? The Museveni criminal regime has been practicing, engaging in embezzlement of people's funds. In astronomical numbers, they've never cared. Tell me, do you think they do not know about the thievery, the theft, the corruption of Sam Kahamba Kutesa? They don't care. They do not care. She threatened the power that be, and they're like, okay, we're going to use you to send a signal to whoever wants to challenge us, period. But I like what's going on, because in everything that happens, there's always something. You can use it for an opportunity somehow or somewhere. And this is showing us the amount of money that has been stolen and the accomplices. And the reason why I'm covering this is because this woman did not made sure that she detaches herself from the reality and swimming in money and thinking that money can do everything. She's not different from the folks, other people in the Museveni criminal regime. While they're using her as a scapegoat or to send a signal, let us take something. Let us take something from all this. knowing how the system operates. Either way, of course, we're not going to use that system, but looking at it for what it is. Okay, I'm going to be reading you a few lines from a few things I've been getting here. For example, let's go on here. Who could be? The question is, who could be these members of parliament that were working with Anita Among? Not only members of parliament, but I want you to read this. Probably I should put it in a big screen. It says, I don't know if this is necessary, but with the new information I have to clear the record, the money Among and her cronies stole in the 8 months between July 2025 and February 2026 is over 50 billion shillings, which is $13.5 million. The astronomical amounts spent on parliamentary commission operations were picked directly from the Bank of Uganda, unlike those for outreach programs for the Speaker and commissioners, which were channeled through parliamentary circle. Pause right there. Have you had anything to do with investigating the Bank of Uganda? Because they want to paint Anita Among this raven black, scary monster, a thief, and spare the rest of other people. No, don't fall for that. Yes, Anita Among is a thief. I'm not defending her. Never will I. I was criticizing her even before this chaos. But Anita Among wasn't working by herself. No, she wasn't acting alone. She has accomplices. And I'm afraid that even when they decide to go after these so-called accomplices, they'll go for small names. Folks at the Bank of Uganda were behind all this. Are they going to be investigated? Look at all these amounts. Look at this. 138 million shillings. Okay? Being payment, I think I need to show you here. Read it with me. Being payment for operations of parliamentary commission. 2,500 million. Being payment for to cater for operations of the parliamentary commission. 2,200 million. Being paid to cater for parliamentary. What are these operations? Look at all this money that is being spent. So who are these members of parliament? You might have ideas. I mean, NTV reported this. I need to show you what NTV reported. This is how they covered this. Pay attention to what they say, because you might think, okay, these are NRM sympathizers. Some of them are folks that pose as opposition. Listen here.
Abatusomolera ebifa mu kikwekweto kino batubulidde nti newankubadde ennyanja tugirabanga eteese era ng'omugwa guyimbiddwa mu bulago bwa Anita Among yekka waliwo ababaka ba paalamenti nga 30 abaguliziddwako edda nti balyekamanye kubanga akadde konna bandiyitibwa okubako bye batebya sinakindi okukwatibwa. Bwamu ku bano bali beekukubiza nnyo ku Among, abalala nga be bamukwatira ensawo omwatiriko omutete gw'ensimbi. Ekyewuunyisa nti abamu ku bo bali ku ludda oluvuganya gavumenti era nga bali basaale nnyo mu kumukolokota mu kyama ne mu lujjudde, kyokka ng'obudde bwe buziba bateetera bonna olw'omusimbi n'abayiira.
Okay. Some of these are members of the opposition. Look, I don't care whether Anita Among was doing this with one of my favorite members of parliament. I don't care. Burn it down. Burn it down. Go after them. But the only problem I have with people who are going after corrupt people in government or in parliament are themselves corrupt. Like I mentioned in my earlier commentary, it's like sending a thief to catch a thief. Okay? Does that absolve this thief for the theft they've been committing in the last how many weeks or days or months or years? No. So Museveni is a corrupt guy. Muhoozi Kainerugaba is corrupt. Though they are trying to appear as though they are fighting corruption, who is going to hold them to account? Who's bringing them to books? Zero. So it is. It looks like a mission that is meant to fail completely. Because if Museveni is going to fight corruption, it's going to require him to resign. Or Muhoozi Kainerugaba. It's like Muhoozi Kainerugaba saying, oh, I condemn the disrespect or violation of human rights. Yet is the man who posted the abduction and torturing of Ed Mutwe and gloated in that. Remember? So imagine if Muhoozi Kainerugaba started going after people who abduct, torture, and kill people. We should be happy, but at the same time, there's a contradiction, because now we'll be like, this person who is enforcing or the law or trying to fight the abduction of people is the chief abduction officer. So, but regardless, okay, I'm going to look at this side and be like, okay, let me suspend the person pretending to enforce this law or to crack down on corrupt folks. Let me focus on this. Who are these people Anita Among has been working with? Let's go back here. If you're going to go after the 30 members of parliament, I hope you go after Thomas Tayebwa. Again, Agatha Tyre, who's been very instrumental in all these reports here. Read with me once again. Somebody asked about nothing on Deputy Speaker. He literally owns a prime property in my areas of operation. Okay? Then Agatha Tyre responds, says, he's part of the parliamentary leadership. No. Also, let me reshare what we have shared about him. Everything Among stole, Tayebwa had a share. When they increased per diem, his was also increased from 850 to 3,500, ladies and gentlemen. This is Thomas Tayebwa. When they decided to give them money to furnish their homes, Tayebwa got 890 million shillings, a whopping almost 900, short of 110 millions to make it a billion. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. This was, they were given money to furnish their homes. What? How much were they given? Almost a billion. Almost a billion shillings, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's go back here. When they gave themselves generators for their residence, Tayebwa also got, when they gave themselves annual vacations with their spouses paid for by taxes, Tayebwa also got. When they increased their office budgets, donations in entertainment, Tayebwa also got. When they were sharing the budget through reallocation, Mitoma was also a beneficiary each financial year. And we have written all this. Let's go here. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. The Deputy Speaker's budget increased from 2.768 billion in financial year 2020-2021 to 14.486 billion in financial year 2024-2025. Imagine, that's an increase over 423.338% increase. Who does that? How do you explain that? From 2 billions to 14 billion? What changed? What changed, ladies and gentlemen? But I'm not done. Watch here. Deputy Speaker's, this is Deputy Speaker's entertainment and welfare budget over the years. In 2020-2021, it was 108 million shillings. 2021-2022, it increased to 154. I don't know what changed. But then 2020-2023, it increased to 443. 2023-2024, it increased to 443. And then it kept at 443 from 108 million shillings. Ladies and gentlemen, what kind of entertainment are these folks having? Are they inviting? Are they resurrecting Michael Jackson? I love Michael Jackson. But are they resurrecting him? Maybe then I would understand if they're paying over 400 million shillings. I wouldn't even mind if they paid 1 billion shillings to Michael Jackson. But they're not resurrecting Michael Jackson. What kind of entertainment are they having? Is it entertainment that is organized on Mars, that they have to fly out of this planet Earth? All this 443 million shillings. And Mohozi Kainerugaba, a typical Museveni's son, said, oh, Tayebwa is safe. A complete nepotist. Oh, I'm protecting Tayebwa because he's a Munyankore. That's not what he said, but I believe that's pretty much what he wanted to say. Oh, Tayebwa is safe. He's a thief. So as you're targeting that members of parliament, how about Tayebwa? How about Sam Kahamba Kutesa, who has been stealing the nation for years? Okay, I'm not done here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on here. They even had a budget for donations. Yes, you won't believe it. Read with me. Deputy Speaker of Parliament's donation budget over the years. Donation. let's give money to the speaker to donate. Now, as frugal, as conservative, as economical as these folks are, do you think they're going to donate this money? No. They're going to pocket it. Tayebwa donating money? Are you kidding me? But read here. Financial year 2020 and 2021, there was zero. There was no money to donate. Financial year 2021-2022, zero money for the deputy speaker. Then 2022-2023, 960 million shillings. Oh my God. What? How? How do these people know? Okay, we're going to give you, I think let's give you 960 million shillings. I think that's enough for donation. Who is he going to? Oh my Lord. Let's go back. Watch. Then in 2023, it increased from 960 million shillings to 1.8 billion shillings. And it stayed the same for the financial year 2023-2024. Then financial year 2024-2025, it increased from 960 million shillings to 1.80 billion shillings to 3.816 billion shillings. An increase of 297.5%. This is a fake. I don't know how to describe this, but this is so stupid. And you know what? These are the people who will lecture. Oh, the white people want to colonize us. Oh, you are a puppet of the white because they support you. They want to control us. Dude, you're controlling me. I don't care whether I'm being controlled by a Chinese, a Mongolian, a white person. I don't care. If it is about control, why do you think I should seek permission from you? Oh, Mordecai, I'm the one who should control you, who should steal from you. I can guarantee you we can go back in records and compare the kind of theft these people are engaging in compared to the folks, our colonial masters. These people are worse than our colonial masters. I can bet. They don't care at all. There's no zero care. Jeez. Look at that number one more time. 3.816 billion shillings for donation, or we're giving it to Tayebwa, the most uncharismatic leader I've ever seen. So fake. Is he going to be investigated? Is he going to have his homes raided? Are we going to know how much money he has? Why there's no interest in going after Anita Among? They're targeting the 30 members of parliament because that is a distraction. Now, do I want those members of parliament to be exposed 100%? But that's a distraction. There's this Tayebwa guy and a few other accomplices. Look, I am here all for, if you want to go after these people, the folks who were awarded 500 million shillings, I think in Puga received 500 million shillings, and the rest got, I think, was it around 400 million shillings as parliamentary commissioners? You can go after this. But what is 500 million shillings to 3.8 billion? What is it? It's nothing. Totally nothing. Oh, it's nothing. That doesn't absolve these folks. It doesn't absolve them. They should be held to account for their theft. But that's why I said, let the house burn. We have to set it on fire, proverbially, of course. Let the entire thing burn. If you want to expose everyone. Museveni is already exposed, so expose those folks in the government, expose folks in the opposition, let it burn, let it start afresh. Yes, that's my argument here. Don't play me, 30 members of parliament, because they were given 120 million shillings each. Okay, who cares? I don't care. Parliament staff skip CID summons, face arrest. More than 6 high-ranking parliamentary officials have been given an ultimatum to report to CID headquarters today or face immediate arrest. Yeah. Don't stop at that. That's what I'm saying. Don't stop at these folks at the parliament. Anita Among has been working with extremely high-ranking people in the government. We want them to be exposed. Don't distract me with this. What else did I want to show you? Then there's this guy. He's been a known criminal, a thug. The DPC of Parliament, Superintendent of Police, Okoto Charles Patrick, who was formerly transferred by Speaker from Bukedea, is said to be arrested over murder charges. He killed people on behalf of Speaker Anita Among during Bukedea LC5 by-election. He's a murderer there. Arrest all of them. Like, I want the house to catch on fire. And if it catches fire, I'm going to be an arsonist. I'll come, set it on fire. I'm not going to be a firefighter or try to stop this. No. Because it looks like this is a rotten system. There's nothing we can do with Museveni. He's a criminal thug. Okay. What else? I mean, there's a lot of things I will show you here. Then I see here Mpuga, defending his service award. All of them should be arrested. But even when I say that, I'm like, who is going to do the arresting? A criminal. Jeez. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go on and show me, tell me who are some of these members of parliament that are thought to be accomplices of Anita Among, go on and let me know in the comment section. Who do you think are these members of parliament? There's this woman.
What was
Did you see the arrest of this woman who told us? Remember this? Meet Margaret Muhanga, who sold her cows and goats to raise 10.2 billion shillings. Remember that?
source?
To buy the UBC land?
The cows, goats, and everything.
I sold cows, goats, and everything. Because she's related to Andrew Mwenda, she won't be arrested or investigated. No. And the other thing you have to remember, her name is Margaret Muhanga. Sad. Okay. Some of those members of parliament that are thought to be targeted, I think Nino Tabs asked a very good question here, and some people responded. He said, the members of parliament who were sworn in together with Anita Among, with total disregard of the order designed by protocol, were just too dumb to not know that they were affirming that they're associates to a prime suspect. I pity you. Now, I mean, stealing is stupid, but this is I don't know how to define this. Okay. Those members of parliament are Moses Magogo, husband, Budiope East, Patrick Oporot, Kachumbala County in Bukedea, David Bisham Okwere, Bukedea County, Sarah Namulondo, Buyende District Woman, MP, and Josephine Pedun, Ngora District Woman, MP, accompanied Anita Among. Imagine that. They were so confident in breaking rules, regulations, and the law itself. Even when it came to swearing in of Anita Among, they said, we don't care about protocol. Where do you think Anita Among learned this from? Anita Among is a byproduct of the Museveni stupid politics. Like I've argued here, Anita Among studied Museveni and took politics to its logical conclusion. Like where's my book here? I don't have it. I don't know, probably it's on my table. Coffee table, yeah. But I was reading that, I was going through the Nicole Machiavelli's The Prince. Like Museveni studied Nicole Machiavelli's letter to Lorenzo de Medici. It's like, okay, this is how I should play my politics. It is manipulation. It is control. It is domination. It is violence. That's what Museveni practices. So Anita Among looked at Museveni and was like, okay, this is what he does. I'm going to take it to its logical conclusion. as Museveni allows Bobby Wine to run against him and tortures him, abduct some of his bodyguards and his campaigning team members, Anita Among looks at that and says, okay, this is what Museveni does. Okay, I'm going to make sure I don't have any person running against me. That's the logical conclusion. Because Museveni sabotages Bobby Wine to make sure that he restrains him from mobilizing to the entire nation or to threaten him. So Anita Among says, okay, I'm going to try to find ways. If I need to kill, I will. But I'll make sure that I buy off a few people to pull out of the race so that I run as an independent. Same thing was done by Thomas Tayebwa. But nobody's mentioning Thomas Tayebwa. This has nothing to do with corruption, ladies and gentlemen. This is all about purging Anita Among and protecting other Museveni sympathizers who have bowed down to him and said, hey, sir, we don't have any dreams. Our dream is to worship you, the grand leader, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. It is a lie. It is a facade. And don't fall for it. Especially if you care about dignified and principled leadership. You got nothing to do with them. And like I said, if you really think that Museveni is interested at all in fighting corruption, please do not hold your breath. Do not. You'll die. Do not hold your breath. He has no interest whatsoever. He's a thief. Can we look into the State House budget? How much money is spent there? Who received this money? How is it allocated or distributed? Don't. That's it for now. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm forgetting anybody, I know many of you are going to be like, oh, H.D. Wampuga. Yeah, it should be questioned. My name is Mordecai Murisa. Please make sure that you subscribe. Let me know what you think about all this. See ya.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.